Hi there, my name is Paul Gruber. I am a resident here in Durbin Crossing. My family and I have lived here since 2012, and I'm also a realtor. And I'm back now with the second half of 2023 data for the Durbin Crossing marketplace. For those of you that have seen my previous posts, what I do is I break down the Durbin Crossing community by the various neighborhoods. I'm sure many of you get postcards in the mail that kind of point out what's happened in the marketplace in the last month. That might just be for all of Durbin Crossing, or it might be for the entire St. Johns County. Either way, I think it's really just kind of a snapshot in time and isn't really very directional. So what I try to do is take the marketplace in a 6-month snapshot. I break down Durbin Crossing into the various neighborhoods, and then I trend it back 7 years back to 2017 for most of the areas. The reason I do that is Durbin Crossing is really kind of a dynamic community. We have townhomes in here, all the way up to homes on the estate lots, the 83-foot wide lots, homes that start in the upper twos, low threes, going to over $1 million. So that's why I like to try to break down the various neighborhoods in Durbin Crossing for your review. I don't include in here, and one area that I do focus on is what I kind of refer to as the luxury market. That's defined in dollars and cents, at least, for St. Johns County as homes over $800,000. I kind of track from a $750,000 price point and up. So if you are interested in that data, feel free to reach out to me and I'd be happy to share that with you. But let's jump into the data for the second half of 2023. All right, let's go ahead and jump into North Durbin. Again, just to level set, these are the neighborhoods that are north of Longleaf Parkway, but they do not include Village Center, which is the area directly across the street from Patriot Oaks Academy. Does not include Castlegate or Cresthaven, which are the two neighborhoods off of Veterans Parkway. Nor does it include Tollerton, which is off Longleaf, kind of down by Creekside High School. Just taking a quick look at the price range for 2023 compared to 2022. The bottom if you will, was a higher mark than in 2022. So $610,000, ranging up to $975,000. We didn't clear the $1 million mark in 2023. There were 2 homes in 2022 that did clear that threshold, but again, none in 2023. All right, so if we take a look at the sales volume for the second half of 2023, if you pay attention at all to the real estate market, if you care at all, one thing you've heard consistently, regardless of where you're looking, is relatively low inventory. And certainly North Durbin, that's the case. Only 11 transactions closed in the second half of 2023, which matched the first half of 2023. Combine those together, and we had the lowest volume of closed transactions in North Durbin in the 7 years that I've tracked it, dating back to 2017. We only had 22 closed transactions. That's 37% lower than the closed volume in 2022. And if you count it down to just a 6-month period, the second half of 2020, when we had 36 closed transactions, well, the second half of 2023 was 70% lower than that. So low volume in North. All right, when we take a look at days on market for the second half of 2023, it's really a tale of 2 halves in North Durbin. The first half of the year, we set a record clearing 70 days on market on median for the homes that closed in the first half of the year. And then we plunged in the second half of the year to a days on market at median on 14 days. Didn't quite set a record. That was set in the first half of 2020 with a days on market of only 11 days. Now, of note, there's only 2 homes on the market right now in North. Interestingly, both of those homes have a days on market in excess of 100 days. So we'll see what the first half of 2024 data reveals as we get into the year. All right, so the real question is record low transactions and near record low days on market. So what did that mean for median sale price per square foot in North? Well, what it meant was a record $235 per square foot, which is the highest in the 7 years that I've tracked, up 4% over the same period in 2022. If you recall, the first half of 2023 was down just marginally, but again, a new record for North at $235 per square foot. All right, let's go ahead and put a bow on North. So again, just to reiterate, really low volume. The lowest volume of the 7 years that I've tracked dating back to 2017, only 22 closed transactions for the year, 11 in the first half, 11 in the second half. So at least we had parity. Median discount from the original asking price was on median $9,900 the second half of the year, yielding not 9%. That would be a tragedy and it'd be a completely different slide deck if that were the case. It was 99% of original ask in the second half of the year. And 45% of those closed transactions were for full ask. Good for those sellers. And none of the homes in North in the second half of the year went for over ask. Just to compare that to the first half of the year, we had a median discount of $64,000. We're yielding 92% of original ask. Now, the first half of the year was weighed down a bit by a couple of homes that went on the market in the second half of 2022. They didn't go under contract until until the second half of, or the first half of 2023. And so that data kind of weighed down the first half of the year. But nonetheless, improvement to the second half. Closed transactions, let's break those down by square footage. For the homes that closed in the second half of the year over 4,000 square feet, the median discount was $24,000 or getting 98% of original ask. For the homes in that 3,000 to right up to 4,000 square feet, a median discount of $17,000 or yielding 95% of that original ask. And then the homes in the low 2,000s up to that 3,000 mark in square footage, yielding 99% of ask or a $5,000 discount off original ask. Now, interestingly, of the homes that sold in Durbin in 2023, 74% of those homes were either an all-cash transaction or a conventional loan product. So the buyer that is attracted to Durbin, at least North Durbin, is a very well qualified buyer, which is great news if you're selling a house. And again, I'll remind you, I shared it earlier in the presentation. I do track luxury transactions separately in a number of developments. And so I do have that for Durbin. By definition, in St. Johns County, luxury is technically $800,000 or above. I back that down to include $750,000 and above. So if you kind of sit in that space and are curious, feel free to reach out to me and I'd be happy to share that data for you. But let's go ahead and jump across Longleaf over to South. All right, let's go ahead and jump across Longleaf Parkway here to South. And again, these are the neighborhoods that are south of Longleaf Parkway. Real quick, looking at that sales price range for the year, range from 360 to 930. So a little bit lower on the lower end versus 2022, but higher on the high end. So tail of the tape there for 2023 in South. All right, let's take a look at that sales volume in South. Similar story to North. That sales volume for the second half plunged to the lowest level for a 6-month period in the 7 years I've tracked. Only 7 transactions in the second half of 2023, and only 23 total transactions for the entire year in South. Prior to 2023, 2022 had set the new low water mark, and so 2023 was 26% lower than the transaction volume in 2022, and the second half of 2023 was 42% lower than the second half of 2022. Did you track all of that? I jumped around a lot, but hopefully you followed. I'll just wrap it up real quick. That means low volume in South. All right, unlike North, days on market in South went in the opposite direction and they jumped to a new high watermark of 70 days on the market. Again, that's median days on market for the closed transactions in the second half of 2023. You got to go all the way back to the second half of 2017 to get close to that number where the days on market was 68 days. All right, well, fortunately, those days on market in South didn't seem to really impact the median price per square foot for those closed transactions in the second half. They were actually $220 per square foot was the median price per square. That's up 7% from the first half of the year and 9% above the second half of 2022. The only higher watermark in South was the first half of 2022, where the price per square foot was $225. So price per square foot in South held up despite the long days on market. All right, so let's wrap up South Durbin. Again, just like the story in North, extremely low volume, only 23 closed transactions for the entire year. That's actually a new record low for South, just like North. The median, you can't see off camera here, but we have a puppy, a lab puppy, and he kind of needs constant attention, so he's distracting me a little bit. Sorry about that. Median discount from the original list price to sold price in South in the second half was $30,000, or yielding 95% of that original ask. Compare that to the first half of the year, where the median discount was $25,000, or getting 96% of that original ask. So pretty flat there. Closed transactions, break them out by square footage, those in the 3,000 to 4,000 square foot range. No discount, actually. They sold at 100% of ask. There were 3 of those. And then the 2,000 to 3,000 square foot, a median discount of about $30,000, or yielding 95% of that ask. And again, just like North, 86% of the transactions were cash or conventional loans. So the buyers that are looking at Durbin, at least through these 2 neighborhoods, are very well qualified buyers that are shopping in Durbin so far. All right, we're going to jump back over Longleaf into Village Center. And again, these are the homes, the neighborhood just directly across the street from Patriot Oaks Academy. Again, 100% of those lots are 43-foot lots. 100% of the students that live in there go to Patriot Oaks Academy. A quick look at the price range of homes that sold in 2023. Ranged from $405,000 to $575,000. And then for reference, you have the 2022 price range there as well. All right, let's take a look at that sales volume in Village Center. If you've seen my prior videos, you know what I'm about to say. I don't know what it is with Village Center. People seem to just love it there. There's very low volume. And again, a new record low, just like in North and just like in South. Only 2 closed transactions in the second half of 2023, and only 7 the entire year. It's hard to believe that in the second half of 2020, there were 17 closed transactions. I don't know what it is, but people love living in Village Center, and that's evidenced by the really low volume transactions, at least over the last 3 years. Again, this one, I just want to throw out a note. I don't go back to 2017 because there was still new construction in there in 2017. So I like to keep it clean and just have it be existing home sales. So that's why I don't include 2017 in here, in case you're curious. All right, let's look at those days on market in Village Center. No, that is not a misprint. It is over 160 days. Now, asterisk, again, only 2 transactions there, but well above where things have kind of traditionally gone in Village Center, where they've generally been 20 days or less over the last handful of years. So a big jump there, and I'll try to explain what I think happened on the next slide. All right, your initial reaction is probably to assume that those homes were at least initially overpriced, right? But actually, on a straight price per square foot metric, not taking into account the condition of the home, the lot, et cetera, all those other variables. If you just go on a straight price per square foot metric, they weren't way out of line. They were towards the higher side of the price per square foot for similar sized homes that sold in 2022 in Village Center. But 2 things happened, and this is my hypothesis as to why the days on market skyrocketed in Village Center for those 2 homes. If you look back, most of the similar size homes and also homes that sold for over $500,000 in 2022, those homes were sold almost entirely by mid-summer, August. Maybe one spilled into September, but again, those go under contract usually 30 days prior. So most of the homes were under contract or sold by mid to late summer. Think about, it wasn't that long ago, interest rates. For the first half of 2022, the rate on a 30-year note ranged from 3.5% in January on average. By mid-July to late July, they were in the upper fives. Now, jump forward to the first half of 2023, where rates were in the sixes, pushing into the sevens. My hypothesis is that clearly put pressure on the price per square foot for the homes in Village Center and what they could command. The other fact is that of all the homes that did sell in the first half of 2023, only one home eclipsed $500,000. So clearly the higher interest rates were impacting the prospective buyers who were looking at homes in Village Center. I think this is a perfect example of why the postcard snapshot for the entire development doesn't really give you keen insight as to what's happening, and why I like to break things out into neighborhoods. All right, let's go ahead and wrap up Village Center. Again, just like North and South, all-time low volume, only 2 transactions in the second half of 2023. Super low inventory. Even now, there's only 1 home currently on the market. That's as of January 9th. Median days on market, as we just discussed, jumped markedly to 164 days. But again, we're only talking about 2 transactions, so don't hang your hat on that. And likewise, don't hang your hat on necessarily the discount. The median discount from the original list price for those homes was $50,000 or yielding 91% of that original ask. So that's Village Center. All right, let's go ahead and knock out Tollerton. Again, just to put everybody on the same page, this is the neighborhood right across, or almost right across the street from Creekside High School. Again, the price ranges there for 2023 range from $445,000 up to $705,000. Both the low and the high above those marks in 2022. All right, just like every other neighborhood in Durbin Crossing, low volume, only 3 closed transactions in the second half of the year, down significantly from the first half of the year, and parity with the actually each of the 6-month intervals in 2022. Not a low watermark that was set in the second half of 21 and the first half of 2017 with only 2 transactions, but still just remarkably low volume in Tollerton. All right, let's look at days on market in Tollerton. As always, I try to show the full 7-year period, but as you can see, real outlier number the first part of 2017. So I always try to take that out so it gives a little more accurate picture. It tends to skew the scaling when I leave that first half of 2017. So I'm gonna go ahead and take that out and show you what it looks like. All right, so now that we've gone ahead and rescaled the days on market for Tollerton, you can see kind of a steady climb from the low watermark in the second half of 2021, where it was only 3.5 days on median for days on market in Tollerton. I mean, you can't even get the sign in the yard and it's already sold. Up to where we are the second half of 2023 with 34 days on market. Things have kind of leveled out now, back to maybe a normal number. In that 30 to 40 day range that we saw kind of pre-pandemic, the less frothy years for home sales. And so again, a steady climb, but nothing alarming. All right, taking a look at that median price per square foot in Tollerton for the second half of the year. Things have really leveled off in the last 18 months or so on a price per square foot in Tollerton. The second half of the year was just up marginally to $213 per square foot in Tollerton. All right, just to wrap up Tollerton real quick, just like all the other neighborhoods, a return to low transaction volume. Days on market kind of continues that steady climb over the last couple of years. That says less than 30 days, but it has eclipsed the 30-day mark. It's at 37 days in the second half of the year. Median discount from the original list price to the sold price in the second half was $22,500, or yielding about 95% of that original ask. And unlike the first half of the year, where 2 homes in Tollerton sold for over ask, not a common theme these days, there were no homes that went for over ask in the second half of the year. And just like in North and South Durbin, 80% of those transactions in 2023 were cash or conventional loan product, which again just demonstrates really well qualified buyers seem to be the ones who are shopping in Durbin Crossing. All right, we won't spend much time on Castlegate and Cresthaven. I'm not even going to go through any additional slides because there was only one transaction the second half of the year in those neighborhoods. So I'll just give you the details real quick, and then we'll move on to the townhomes. There was only one sale, as I mentioned. There were 5 in the same period last year, and only 2 closed transactions in the first half of 2023. Days on market for that one transaction was 23 days. And the price per square foot was $199. The first half of the year, the median price per square foot was $205, and then the same period last year was $229. So down from those numbers, but again, we're only benchmarking one home, which is really hard to benchmark, which is why we're not going to do that. So let's move on to the townhomes. All right, let's go ahead and talk about the townhomes. Now, these are the townhome communities that are both north and south of Longleaf and are along St. John's Parkway. Just a quick reminder for analysis, I only go back to 2020 because there was new construction going on in those developments at that time, and I don't want to mix in new construction with existing home resale. Kind of muddies the waters. So for that purpose, I don't go back all the way to 2017. Again, the sales price range for 2023 range from 265 up to 381. And then you have the 2022 range there for your reference. All right, I don't even know why I show you the sales volume slides because it's the same sheet of music. The lowest volume of all the years I've tracked in the townhome communities, again, the last 4 years, only 12 transactions in the second half of the year, which is significantly lower than the volume. The frothy years of 2020 and 2021, there were only 28 units sold throughout the townhome communities in 2023. Kind of compare that to 57 units sold in 2020 and 69 units sold in 2021. So a pretty precipitous drop off in volume, but not unique to Durbin. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the days on market in the townhome communities. A drop off from the first half of the year, which is nice. We're at 43 days on median days on market in the first half, down to 30 for the second half of the year. So properties were moving faster in there. Up slightly from the second half of last year, where the days on market was 26 days on median. Again, 30 days or less, that's really nice to have, nothing to cry about. So let's move on to price per square foot. All right, taking a look at that sold price per square foot in the townhome communities, up slightly from the first half of the year to $215 per square foot, up from $210 in the first half of the year, but down from that high watermark that was set in the second half of 2022, where the price per square was $28 per square foot on median. So things seem to be settling out above $200 a square foot now in the townhome communities. All right, just to wrap up the townhomes real quick, as we already covered, lowest annual volume, that's a consistent trend. Days on market up slightly over the same period last year, but down from the first half by 30%. The median discount to the original ask price was $9,200, or yielding 97% of that original ask. And again, like many of the neighborhoods in Durbin, 83% of the transactions were cash or a conventional loan product. So the buyers that are shopping in Durbin are very well qualified, which is nice if you're trying to sell your house. And again, just 2 homes on the market currently as of January 9th. Again, just a reminder, if you do have that home that's kind of in that luxury space, I track on that separately. So that's kind of that 750 and up space. And so I do track on that separately. I just don't share it here. So if you are interested in that data, feel free to reach out to me. I'll be happy to share it with you. I'll be back in July with the first half of 2024. Hopefully it's great news. Until then, make it a great first half of the year. Thanks for watching.